I started my locks with no gel, no products, and I'm actually loving it. If you've been thinking about locking your hair but have been getting in your head about it, overthinking it, then this video is definitely for you. Hey beautiful people, welcome to the channel. I'm Miss Muffet, but you can call me April. Listen, if you've been sitting there thinking about getting starter locks, but have been asking yourself 101 questions, if you've watched at this point like 60 different videos and you're starting to feel overwhelmed, and if you're just overthinking everything, you are not alone. Trust me, I have been there. I kind of am still there, actually. So I started my lock journey 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks exactly. And I decided to start it a little differently. So I am starting basically product free. I did not lock my hair with any gel. I used basically little to no products so far in the last 2 weeks. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the way my hair feels. So this is 2 weeks locked. I'm gonna try to get in close, see if you can see. Hopefully the camera is picking this up. I started my locks with 2-strand twists just because that's what made the most sense for me. I've been twisting my hair naturally for a very long time. I've been natural for over 20 years. It's just a decision that I made for myself a long time ago. I went from chemically processing my hair to just doing a big chop and going natural about 20 years ago. And that's just the way I've been ever since. I do have a natural black hairstylist that I would go to for things like braid extensions or things like that. But I haven't chemically processed my hair in over 20 years. I haven't put any heat in my hair for over 20 years either. I've just been stretching it naturally and doing all these natural products. I really wanted to take that same kind of mindset into my lock journey, and I want to really keep this journey as natural as possible as well. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you tips and tricks that my loctician shared with me during my appointment. I'm going to show you what I've purchased as a starter lock kit, the necessities that I felt I needed for my current lock journey, and I'll talk a little bit about the simple routine I'm hoping to create for myself to make this process as easy as possible so that I don't feel overwhelmed by this. So a little bit about why I decided to lock my hair finally. Like I said, I've been natural for about 20 years, and I would say that I've been dancing around the idea of locking my hair for at least 5, but just never thought the time was right, or just maybe I never had the courage to do it until now. And I think that's really because I kind of became attached to my natural hair in its loose form. I really enjoyed styling it. I used to find the process of caring for it, my wash day, my styling, whatever that might be, whatever style I choose to do, I found that therapeutic, like it was time to myself. So I enjoyed that process, and I enjoyed learning about my hair, embracing its natural state, and just really learning how to care for it. And I would also take those tips that I discovered for myself and share that with my daughter. So it was hard for me to, I think, let go of that initially, or finally come to the place where I felt like a natural place where I felt, okay, locking my hair feels like the natural next step for me, and I'm ready to do that. And I only really came to that realization about a month ago. And really that has just come down to wanting to free up more time for myself. That was the big reason behind why I finally decided, okay, it's time for me to lock my hair. I'm in my mid-40s right now, and although I still really enjoy the process of maintaining my hair, it's a whole weekend. It's a Friday, it's a Saturday, and sometimes going into a Sunday. And I just don't want to have to dedicate that much time on my weekends every 2 weeks anymore. I have a lot more going on in my life right now, and if I can free up time to be able to redirect that time into other projects that I'm focusing on, or other areas of my life where I would prefer to have more time, then that's what I'm gonna do. I started to realize that I'm not enjoying the process of caring for my hair in its natural state as much as I used to. Recently, it started to feel more like a chore and more like a burden than something that I found therapeutic and enjoyed doing. So once I started to feel that way, that is what triggered to me in my mind that, okay, I think it's time for something else. I think I'm ready. I'm ready to explore locks and to start that phase in my life, because I'm no longer finding the same joy in my hair being in its natural state as I used to. So those are the two main reasons why I've decided to lock my hair so far, and that's what got this journey started for me. So over the past month, I cannot even tell you how much time I've spent researching locks. It's become, or it had become, kind of like an obsession. Let me know if you can relate to this. If you are in the process of researching locks, let me know if you understand what I'm talking about. Literally, anything I was watching on YouTube was a video about locks. Whether it was about how to maintain locks, how many locks should I get, the best locking method, you know, what products do I use? Oh my gosh, I actually had no idea before I made this decision how, like, the abundance of information out there around locks and locking your hair. I honestly really didn't know that there was like a whole huge community, a lock community out there. And so when I started to do my research, it was overwhelming. Like, I felt completely overwhelmed in the beginning. I started to doubt my decision. I was like, I'm doing this to try to make my life easier and simpler. This seems like a lot. This seems like the opposite of what I'm trying to accomplish, okay? But then I realized that, okay, I had to figure out, what do I want to get out of this lock journey? Like, why am I doing it? And then once I started to ask myself two or three main questions, I was able to look at these videos, take in the information, but filter it and pull from it what I thought was going to be useful for me in my journey. And I think that's the key. Definitely you want to do your research, or if you're like me, you're somebody who doesn't like to go into things blindly. You like to do a little bit of research first and then make your decision. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think the challenge can be becoming overwhelmed with the abundance of information out there. So you really have to focus on finding a way to filter through the information. And I think the best way to do that is to understand what you're trying to get out of this for yourself. So what's your why? And two questions that really helped me the most was, why do I want to get starter locks in the first place? And for me, the answer was, I want to free up time and I want an easier hair maintenance routine. The second question I asked myself was, what's your goal in your locks? What hair goal do you have for yourself in getting locks? And when I really thought about it, the answer to that for me was very simple. I just want healthy locks. I want the healthiest locks I can get. So once I figured out my why, I want it to be easy. I want a simple routine. And then once I figured out what I wanted for my locks, I want them to be healthy. And at the core, that's it. Then it became really easy for me to figure out, okay, so how do I want to attain that? And once I figured out that for me, that meant making this as natural a journey as possible, things got a lot easier at that point for me to figure out the how I wanted to go about doing that. I also knew that I didn't want my locks to get too much buildup, and I really wanted to focus on scalp health. I've never really had very many issues with my scalp, to be honest. If I just do a little bit of an oil massage every 2 or 3 days, my scalp has always pretty much been healthy. When I was a natural, it was a castor oil and peppermint mix. So the challenge for me was to figure out what products work for locks, because I quickly realized that I'm not going to be able to use the same products I was using when I was a natural, loose girl. So that was step number one, figuring out what I thought would work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you the starter kit that I purchased for myself. I'm going to show you all the products I'm using in my hair right now. When I say products, it's really, well, you'll see what I mean, but I'm going to show you everything that I have to start off my lock journey. And these are all things that so far in the past 2 weeks, it's only been 2 weeks, have been working very well for me. And so I'm kind of optimistic about this, and we'll see how it goes. So the first thing I got, and I'm hoping the camera can pick this up, I went and got myself a microfiber towel for my hair because through researching, I realized that I can no longer use cotton towels, which is pretty much what I've been using on my natural hair. Probably shouldn't have been using that on my natural hair now that I think of it. But what are you gonna do? It's what I was using. But I wanted to make sure that I really was doing everything I could to try to eliminate lint from the very beginning, and using those kind of cotton towels from what I researched can really cause lint buildup. So first thing I did was go and get one of these, and this is what it looks like here. I love it. I love a good leopard print. And what I like about this towel is that it has like this little button here, which makes it so easy because when you twist it up and put it on your head, you literally just connect this little rope to the button and it secures it nicely onto your head for you. So this was nice. I got one for myself and I got one for my daughter because, you know, I couldn't bring this into the house and not have one for her as well. So this is what I'm going to be using to dry my hair. Another reason why I purchased this is because microfiber towels apparently are supposed to help your locks dry a lot faster, and I plan on air drying my locks as much as possible. I haven't used heat in over 20 years and I really don't want to start doing that during my loc journey. So yeah, so I'm microfiber towel. I'm hoping that it helps dry up my hair quickly. So that's the first item. Second thing that I took the time to research was what kind of oil did I want to use on my scalp specifically. I quickly realized that I didn't think I'd still be able to use my castor oil and peppermint mix on my scalp and locks because it was just very thick. Castor oil is it's a thicker consistency, and so I really wanted to make sure I found a lightweight oil, again with the intention of trying to eliminate as much buildup as possible. So I didn't know this, but jojoba oil is the closest oil to what your skin will and your scalp will naturally secrete and produce on its own. So once I realized that, I love science. I love science. So if you could explain to me the science behind something, then I might be sold on that. Okay, so once I discovered that jojoba oil was the closest to our natural skin producing oil, I said, let me try that. So I went ahead and got, I purchased this bottle here, 100% natural jojoba oil. Is it jojoba or jojoba? Is the J pronounced like an H? Please let me know in the comments because I don't know. I've never really known. I think it's jojoba actually. But anyway, I got 100% pure jojoba oil. And what I did just to make things easier for myself, I went and purchased this bottle here and I just poured everything into this because it has this tip. So it's really easy just to kind of get it in between my hair strands and get it directly onto my scalp because I'm using a different oil on my actual hair strands. So I really want to make sure it just really focused on the scalp. I think it was like $4, so not so bad, and it's already really come in handy. So I love that. So that's my scalp oil. The oil I've decided to use on my actual hair strands to help seal in moisture is argan oil. Argan oil has always worked really well for me in the past, and it's a pretty lightweight oil as well. So I figured I'm gonna keep using this, give this a try and see how it goes. So far, so good. So what I'll just do after I've hydrated my hair, which I will show you what I'm using to hydrate my locks, I'll just put a little bit of the argan oil in my hand, rub it up, and then I just kind of like squeeze it into my locks just to kind of lock in that hydration. And yeah, I really like it. For hydration, what I've decided to try initially, which is what I've been using for the past 2 weeks, is rose water. I found a rose water product on Amazon. I threw out the actual box of the product, so I will find it and I will post a picture here for you so that you can see which one I purchased. So far, I love it. It is lightweight. I love the smell of it. And it does an amazing job at hydrating my locks. It really does. So as of right now, I'm hydrating in the morning. So I'll wake up in the morning, I'll give my hair a little mist. I went to the same beauty store and purchased this bottle here. So I just went and got this. And it's just a continuous mist spray. Actually, I'm gonna show you right now. Oh my. So that you can see, oh my gosh. When I tell you this feels so good, I have no idea why I wasn't misting my hair and hydrating my hair before, because the difference it has made for my hair, it just keeps it soft, for my scalp as well. Hydrating my scalp has been kind of like a game changer for me. I haven't had the need to oil my scalp as often. So I'm using rose water. I'm trying that out. Once this is done, I'm going to switch it and try a diluted aloe vera juice mix. And I'm gonna see which one I like better. I'm gonna see which one feels better, which one I think hydrates a little bit better. Again, for me, the goal is lightweight, water-based, which is why I want to dilute the aloe vera, either gel or juice. I want to dilute it, and I don't want it to be sticky, heavy, none of that. But rose water, absolutely love so far. Okay, so let's talk about shampoo. I have yet to wash my hair, and so far I think I'm good. I don't feel the need to wash yet. I don't like my hair. My scalp is fine. I'm not feeling itchy. Do you condition? Do you not condition? Like, there's so much information out there. So like I said, I really had to decipher and hone in on what was best for me. I have found this one. I liked this a lot from the very beginning because it is a water to foam shampoo. And there is aloe vera in this as well. It's Carol's Daughter. Put it there. So this is the one I'm gonna try. I'm gonna start with no sulfate, no parabens, no petroleum, no silicons. There's nothing in this, okay? So we'll see how this works, but you know, it's gotten some really good reviews. I'm going to try this, and then another one that I also saw, I bought two just so I can decide, was this one here. Put it up there so you can see. Hopefully you're seeing it, it's not coming in too blurry. Suave Essentials Daily Clarifying. So this is a clarifying shampoo. Gives a rich lather and removes excess oil, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So my plan is to shampoo twice. I'm going to start with the clarifying ones. I'm going to start with the Suave, and then I'm going to follow up with the Carol's Daughter, and we will see how that goes. I will not be using any cream, like heavy cream, thick-based shampoos or heavy moisturizing shampoos. I'm not gonna do that, at least initially, and we'll see. We'll see. I think that's gonna be, for me, the real telltale on how well the rose water and the hydrants, like the hydration, is working. Once I start to really shampoo and clarify, we'll see. We'll see how this goes, okay? But yeah, that's gonna be my shampoo. I will not be using any conditioners in my hair. And this was actually an advice that my loctician gave. She has asked that at least for the first 4 months, I do not use any conditioners. And the main reason behind that is because a conditioner is a detangler, right? And so it kind of goes against what you're trying to do, which is lock your hair. So I'm not using any conditioners. I don't have any conditioners in my hair right now. When I washed my hair, actually she washed my hair and it was glorious. Haven't had somebody wash my hair in like 20 years. Do it myself. Oh, it was so good. My hair was bare. Like when I got my hair twisted, there were no creams in it. I had not conditioned. It was bare bone. And this is how it feels. Like my hair is really soft right now. Doesn't feel dry. With the rose water, I haven't had any issues being conditioner free. So I think I'll be okay. But yes, I will not be conditioning at minimum for the first 4 months. I probably won't condition maybe for the first year. We'll see. We'll see is what I'm saying now, but we'll see. And if and when I do start conditioning, it's going to be diluted. I am diluting that with water for sure. I'm not putting any heavy creams in my locks. It's a personal choice, and I just want to see how that goes. Now, to go with my shampoo days, I went ahead and bought some stocking wig caps. This was so interesting to me. I didn't even know that this was a thing, that you could wash your locks with like wig caps on or stocking caps on. Apparently, this will help to prevent your locks from unraveling when you shampoo them, because you're not going to be like all up in there that much, right? But because it's mesh, the shampoo will still get in. If you have like a little scalp, like handheld massager, you can use that, which is what I plan on doing, using that just to kind of massage and break up the dirt. But it's supposed to, from what others have said, really help maintain, whether you have the coil that you started your lock with or 2-strand twists. I saw people recommend this who had coils in their hair, because apparently the coils can unravel a lot faster than the 2-strand twists do. And they said this was a game changer, a life changer. So I went ahead and bought some stocking caps. This one is a pack of how many? How many? I don't know, but I think it was at least 10 is what I remember in here. And yeah, so when I wash my hair for the first time, I will be using this. So that will be another video. I will let you know how that goes. You'll probably be along the ride, so you'll see for yourself. If you subscribe, if you are at the beginning of your journey and you're thinking of locking your hair, or you have just locked your hair, subscribe and let's go through this journey together. Share your tips with me, I share my tips with you, and we'll go through this together. We do not need to be alone in this process, okay? So subscribe, like the video, and let's go on this together. I also really want to make sure that I'm documenting this journey. I want to take pictures, I want to have videos, but I also went ahead and found myself a hair growth journal. I've really been enjoying this journal. So I've started documenting my lock journey in this journal, and this is just to show you what it looks like. I found this on Amazon. Almost everything I purchased, I found on Amazon. So I will actually provide the Amazon links to everything that I have purchased, including this journal. But yeah, I just thought this was a great idea. And how I plan on using this is I'm also going to be documenting, you know, the things that I'm worried about, the products that I've used, how it made my hair feel, how it made my scalp feel. Do I like them? Do I not? I'm going to be documenting things like the length of my hair, just my thoughts, my comments, my reflections, and putting little pictures in here as well, just to document the growth of my locks, because sometimes it's difficult to notice it myself, but if I see it in pictures, it's a lot more noticeable that way. So maybe go ahead and get yourself some sort of hair journal, or even just a regular journal, and just document your journey and your experience in there. I just thought it'd be a really good way to look back, right? A year from now, who knows where my locks are going to be. But yeah, so this is something else that I bought for myself to go along with my lock journey as well. Last thing I'm going to show for this video is my bonnet, my hair bonnet. This is a must, like no matter what. Like if you haven't been wearing a bonnet, what are you doing? And I'm not even talking about locks. My hair natural, I have never gone a night without a bonnet. Ever. Oh my gosh, no. And it's even what's preserved my natural hairstyles for like 2 weeks or more. You have to bonnet your hair. You have to protect your hair. You have to like eliminate that breakage. But the huge thing that apparently this is gonna do is eliminate lint build up. Not eliminate, maybe help greatly reduce, because I think to think that I won't have any lint is completely unrealistic. I'm sure I will. But yeah, hair bonnet. So I didn't buy this. I already had this purchased. And I'm just continuing to use it because as of right now, it's a pretty big one. I can fit a lot of hair in there, much more than I currently have. So there's room for growth, which is nice. But yeah, hair bonnet. Now in total, how much did I spend on all these items? I don't remember. That is literally all I am using, all I have right now at this stage, 2 weeks in. Will this evolve and change? Yes, most likely. But will it always be me maintaining a simple routine? Absolutely. So what will probably change will be the products, or maybe the shampoo. I haven't tried the shampoo yet, so if I find it's not really agreeing with me, I might try a different shampoo, or maybe the scalp oil, or maybe the oil I'm using on my locks. We'll see. I am sure I will be experimenting with that and trying out different products to see what works best with my hair. But in terms of like the goals I have for myself with my locks, that's not going to change. So it will stay simple and it will stay as natural as possible. So last thing I wanted to do was just share with you a couple tips that my loctician gave me at the appointment, which I found very helpful. And I think, anyone starting off their lock journey might actually find these helpful as well. So like I mentioned, when she locked my hair, she didn't use any gel, which I specifically looked for a loctician that did a gel-free locking method because that's how I wanted it. I wanted to start my hair with no products. So what she used instead was a mousse, a styling mousse. And the brand was TGIN, which I didn't know stood for Thank Goodness It's Natural. How did I not know this? I've seen this product around so many times, but I never realized it stood for thank goodness it's natural. But it did the job. It did the job well. Like my twists have not been unraveling whatsoever. So yeah, if you're wanting to start your journey without any gel, try a styling mousse, TGIN, and that was beautiful. I really want to focus on palm rolling for my retwists, but she suggested that for the very first appointment, we interlock just to make sure that the twists kind of stay put for the very initial locking session. So the plan is she interlocked for the first appointment just to kind of keep the twists in place. And then moving forward, the plan is to palm roll from there. So I'll keep you posted. We'll see how that goes. So even if you're thinking that you want your journey to be mainly palm rolling, perhaps you want to consider interlocking just for the first appointment when you install your starter locks, and then maybe transition to palm rolling from there. Up to you. She specifically asked that I do not use any conditioner for the first 4 months at bare minimum. And we talked about that before, but it's mainly because of the purpose of what a conditioner does. A conditioner is literally meant to soften and detangle, and that is the opposite of what we are trying to do when we are locking our hair. So it's gonna work against you. Not to mention, it's also gonna create product buildup. So I won't be using any conditioner, but that is another tip she gave me. And then the last tip, well, she gave me more, but the last one that I thought would be helpful for you at this stage would be, she suggests that I should only be retwisting every 6 to 8 weeks. That's for scalp health, that's for lock health, that's to prevent things like my hair thinning and all that kind of stuff. But she explained to me that because I've interlocked, that my hair should hold up well for 6 to 8 weeks. If I was palm rolling, then maybe perhaps it would be a little bit more often. But apparently when you interlock, you don't need to retwist as often. So I'm gonna do my best to wait for 6 to 8 weeks. She actually said that if I came to her before 6 weeks and asked for a retwist, she would probably turn me away. So she's serious. Like, what I love about the Loctician that I found, I'm in Canada, Ottawa actually, is that she really puts lock health to the forefront. Love, love, love that. That's what I was looking for. So if you've been thinking about starting your locks, and if you've been looking for a simple routine, a simple plan, I do hope you found this video helpful. If you're still with me, go ahead and subscribe, because I'd love to have you come along. I'm just at the beginning of my journey, and my plan is to share everything as much as I can. The good, the bad, the products I'm using, what's been working, my lock journey, the changes that are happening to my locks. Yeah, and all the moments where I'm like, okay, whether that's good or bad. If you have also started your lock journey or even are thinking about that, leave me a comment and let me know how many weeks in you're in. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to learn about your story and what's working for you. Let's share. I'm hoping to build a community here where we can share our experience. So yeah, leave me a comment, introduce yourself, let me know how many weeks you've been locked, and yeah, let's get this conversation going. That's it for today's video, friend. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video.